Hello everyone, welcome to Raw's Repairs. Today got a good one for you, guessed it. We're going to be working on this 1974 Comet, turning it into a enduro car. I bought this a while back for a parts car and got it running. Now basically what I'm doing today is I did some brake work on it, brake lines. Still bleeding the back brakes. Hopefully I can get something going there. I'm gonna take the tank out. I'm gonna put a fuel cell in her. I'm gonna throw some new tires on it and stuff. I just got through putting a starter in. Had to crawl under there and get a starter. I'm gonna cut the exhaust right here and there and put dual exhaust on. Probably hang out the sides, maybe two on one side. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do that, but yeah, there's the line right there that I replaced, brake line all the way back. Yeah, that was a tough job. And then I replaced the line from here around to the block. I'm trying to bleed it right now. I think I'm gonna end up doing this hose. There's the hose comes from, the block is right there for the right and left brakes, and then there's a hose that feeds it, rubber line kind of thing. Kind of see it up in there, you see it. Yeah, I think I might have to replace it because it might be collapsed. So I'm leaving that for now. What I ended up doing is putting a seat in. I had some buckets sitting around, and I'm like, what am I going to do with them? Well, here they are. I ruined the other one for some brackets, so I basically welded brackets. You can kind of see to the floor. Got that one was original bracket. Didn't have to do anything to that. Just went right down to the floor. Had to shorten this one, and then put bolts, welded on bolts so I can just unbolt it from the bottom. No dicking around. There's a remnants of one of them. Did the same thing here, and yeah, so it's real easy to take the seat in and out. Just I think they're 13s on the bottom, 4 of them. So then I put the shifter in for the automatic. I got that all figured out. It's all together. Mounted it. Used a couple nuts, because of the distance there. Same here, and it's all bolted down underneath. I ended up putting a vice grip on here to hold it from turning on both, and on all the nuts, because they were just going to turn. That's what you got to do when you work by yourself. I put the steering column in from my other Comet that I have. Well, this was 3 on a tree. Wasn't an automatic column, and I hooked it up right here. There's like for the ignition switch, and then this is for probably blinkers and all that other crap. Well, what happened was I turned the key and I went and turned it to start, and I wouldn't get nothing. So this is what we're working on today. So I figured it out, and I thought I would make a quick video on this part of it, seeing how I'm here. So this is kind of what I ended up doing. I'm gonna set you up here and get the hood open quick. So I'm gonna give you a bird's eye view on what to do if you have like a no start situation on something old. And I had this thing running before, but I took the column out of it, and I put the steering column in my other Comet, which I don't think you guys have seen yet. So this is a different column, and I think that's why I'm having this no start type situation. So basically what happens is I put a new starter in it because I wasn't sure, but it never was replaced. You can see this motor, they never worked on it from day one. So I replaced the starter. I had one of these laying around. I never used it for my plow truck, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if it'll work. Exact same thing, solenoid. So what happens is you obviously got positive going to here. You got another positive, which is a black wire that goes down to the starter. On this particular one, just one wire goes to the starter. Then there's a terminal here. This is called an I terminal. That's for the ignition. So this has constant 12 volts, and it powers the coil, which is here, which in turn puts 12 volts into the points. Easy. So in order to get this thing started, though, this wire here is the S. It says S on there, and I, ignition, starter. So this, when you turn the key to the on position, and turn it a little bit more to start, there has to be 12 volts here. No 12 volts. I tried and I looked and tried to figure it out. So this is what, a couple hours later, a little bit of testing. So what I ended up doing is I took this wire off, and I put a test lead on here, all right, on this one, and I ran it all the way. This is my test lead, super long, and I used my tester. I'll show you what I did. Real simple. So you put the test lead on, whatever I don't know what you want to call it, but for continuity or connection, or I don't know how all that works. So I took my test lead, I snapped it on here, I put it on that wire, I put one lead on it, and then went into the car. A little tougher to do by yourself here. I went into the car and I started probing all these wires and this connection, and nothing. So what the deal is there's a broken wire from the the wire that I got connected, and then to here there's a broken wire somewhere. So what I ended up doing is I turned on the ignition, and I turned it to the start like that while everything was connected, and I probed the wires here, and I found that this wire here, when I turned the ignition on all the way, was hot. This is my power. Only for a second, just to start the car on the solenoid, So when you turn the key to the on position, that lights your dash and all the other crap. When you turn it a little bit more, that's what starts it. And when you let off, then the starter stops, because you're only going to get 12 volts just for that little bit of time, which engages the solenoid, which engages the starter. So what I ended up doing is I obviously took a little bit of the insulation off of this wire, right? I put my alligator clip on there. I might as well just do it now. I put my alligator clip on there like that, because this turns power on, and then I put this back on, and I put this alligator clip on there. So when I turn the key, I'm putting 12 volts right here, on off, 12 volts. So I'm going to connect the battery. I don't know if this battery's a little on the dead side, but we'll see if we can get it to crank. Now I want to make sure that obviously the wire's not going to hit the fan. This is a little lawnmower gas tank that I just used to get it running when it was running, and all I did was put a hose from here to the fuel pump, and the fuel pump goes up to the carburetor, So this hose here went to the gas tank. Of course, the gas tank is junk, so we don't want any more icky stuff coming into the carb. I got a brand new carb on here too, by the way. So this is what I'm talking about. So check this out. If the battery is good, it'll crank. Oh, the connection's pretty shitty on here. I think I'm gonna replace the cables on there. And this one too, you can see it's not really, that's the ground cable, but we should get a crank here. Let's just see. Nope. Yeah, I got the battery charger. I'm thinking maybe the battery's a little on the weak side too, so we'll just go ahead and connect the battery, make sure you got positive and positive. Okay, let's try that. Wow, this is crazy. That's the first time it's fired, so that's a good thing. I was trying to get it started after I figured out, you know, this problem, and it wouldn't fire. So I was thinking I was gonna, you know, I looked in here and I was like, I'm gonna get some points for it. So which I did. I went to Napa and I got myself a set of points. But now that we got the fire, let's see if we can get this thing. Let's see if we can get this thing to run. That's the first time it's fired. I can't believe it. Let's see if we can get this thing to run. I know it's getting gas in the carb, so. Sweet! So yeah, I can't believe it. That's a good thing she fired up for you guys. It didn't fire up for me. Okay, I got pretty noisy exhaust. I don't want to piss off the neighbors too much. So yeah, so anyway, that's awesome. She fired up, so I'm still gonna replace the points. Yeah, so the video was to show you. Okay, so back to the video. I'm glad the engine ran too, by the way. So I got power, figured this out, and yeah, another thing, I got online and I looked to see how we test these old, you know, solenoids. Some guy had a, you know, there's videos out there, but nobody ever gives you really the exact how to test stuff. He showed a test light. He showed the, you know, the black and red on here, and it made the noise like we did on this wire, and I couldn't get it to do it on mine, so I was like, you know what, I'll just put a new one in, just be done with that. You know, I don't like messing around, so I got a new starter, new solenoid, no power, but now I do. Now it starts. Sweet. So this is what I did. So I figured, okay, I know what I got to do to get power to this wire, right? So how am I going to get power to the wire? I can't have this crap. So what I decided to do is I followed this harness to the easiest point, which is right here. I probed this wire, nothing. And when you probe wires, you end up putting a little mark in there to get to the wire. So I'm going to cover this, all the little marks, with silicone, you know, to make sure no water gets in. So I just probed this red wire, and that one. This one here was the one that made the noise, you know, continuity noise. So I stripped the wire back, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a nice wire, I'm going to wrap it around here, solder it. I'm going to silicone this up good so you can't get any water in it, and I'm going to run this wire. I'm going to tape all this back up so it's nice and clean. I'm going to run that wire right into here, and there's a hole in the firewall already. I don't have to make a hole or anything, and I'm just going to route the wire through there, make sure there's insulation or rubber around the wire so it can't chafe, you know, on the hole. Do a good job. You don't want to be messing around. Actually, the hole is right here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there. So that's cool. I can run the hole in around the steering column, do a good job, keep it to the harness, and then put it right here. So that's exactly how I'm going to do it. It's going to be a heavy duty wire, you know, it's going to be a thick red wire. So that's the video. I wanted to show you guys how I went ahead and did it. Yeah, you're going to have to do some probing. Yeah, this might not be the exact way you should do it, but it's the way I'm doing it, because for one, I'm not going to replace the wiring harness. For two, I'm going to use this is my enduro car. I was almost going to put a push button start in here if I couldn't figure this deal out. So anything goes on this kind of car, but I'm going to do it right, because I don't want to have, you know, 12 volts going to ground or anything crazy like that, start melting the car down. So do it right, you know, get it done. So I'm going to solder this too, and when I'm done, I'm going to silicone it, you know, use a gasket sealer or whatever I got to do to cover it all up, make it right. So hope you guys like the content. Please like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment if you got any questions. I'll tune back in on the next build on this thing. Maybe when I get the exhaust done, I'll tune in and show you guys what it's doing, get it back, you know, get it on the ground and let it rip. But yeah, the old 74, they don't make them like this anymore. Oh yeah, I gotta show you, this is funny. Back in the day, so this is a one owner car actually. Look at it, hasn't been running since, or on the road since 82, and the guy put the tab upside down. I'm like, what the heck? But yeah, this thing hasn't been on the road. And then backstory, it sat in a barn for like, I don't know, 15 years before he put it on Craigslist, and then I bought it. So I've had this car probably for 4 or 5 years. I have it covered with, there's my cover, keep it covered. Yeah, if you guys want a hot tip on covers, just roll them up like that when you take them off, and then roll them when you put them back on. And I use clamps around all 4 wheel wells like that, so the cover can't blow off. But I digress. So anyway, appreciate you guys watching. Like, subscribe to the channel, totally appreciate it. Hope you guys having a good day, and I'll catch you on the next video. Thank you.